Well, good evening, folks. It's Dave Schmidt here again, and it's the evening of March 25th. And as you can see, I'm now back home in Sedona. And what a whirlwind the last week has been, and it's actually been very, very positive. Most of it came from the workshop that we had on Sunday in Dallas-Fort Worth. I mean, what can I say? It's hard for me to comment about it myself, but it was so obvious from the participants that it was extremely beneficial, very, very positive, and they loved all of it. What I want to do is just read a couple comments that have already come in from the emails of a couple of participants. First of all, it says, "Dear Dave, I attended your Dallas 21st workshop, and without throwing bouquets, you are one of the most impressive speakers I have heard in my 74 years. Another one, "Hi Dave, this past weekend, March 23rd, I can't say or thank you enough about what you and your team presented at your Who Wants to Be a Millionaire workshop. I would recommend your meetings for all regardless of how much or how little they know. For those who think they are lacking in knowledge will learn much, and those who have been in this for a while and longer will take away great nuggets of knowledge." Those are just a couple of samples of well over 10 to 15 emails and comments I have already received from so many folks. It exceeded my expectations, not just because of me, because of what the people themselves brought to the workshop. Now, with that, I do want to announce I'm going to have another one. The next one is going to be scheduled for Philadelphia. I'm tentatively scheduling it for the third weekend in April. But that's a tentative date. I'm looking at the Saturday that weekend, the third weekend in April, but I will have more on that later, okay? With that, what else is happening? Well, please excuse me if I haven't gotten to your emails. I have just been absolutely swamped. I traveled most of the day today. I'm now back home, and you know what? I'm going to take a break for a couple days, and here's why. I have two absolutely wonderful grown children that I have not seen for over 2.5 years. My son Matt has been in Korea for the last 2.5 years teaching English, and my daughter Carissa now lives in Bend, Oregon, and I haven't seen her since she graduated with her master's degree in counseling. Well, they're on their way down to see me. They're going to be with me for the next 3 and 4 days. Right now, at this moment, they're visiting the Grand Canyon, and then they're going to be here later tonight. So I'm going to take a couple days off, folks. I'll still have a radio program tomorrow night, but please excuse me if I don't get to answer your emails right away. But what else is happening? Wow. Let me just say this. Last week I said the dinar and the dong and the GCR and the RV is unfolding. It's still unfolding, but the picture becomes more and more clear. I'm getting confirmation once again from people who have what I call deep inside contacts. And the best way I can say this also is this last week I have had phone conversations with 2 different individuals who have already cashed out. And once again, as I have said previously, they didn't get cashed out as individuals. It is because they are administrators or executives of large philanthropic organizations where they're basically giving a lot of their money away for what are called for needy causes. That's why those are getting the private contracts that are being cashed out. It's happening, folks. It is underway. Do I have a date for us? A lot of us, we thought, but again, I have to say, the issue is very, very fluid. It could continue on for another week or 2. I don't have that intel, and even those that even have the very close contacts saying it's a fluid situation that changes from day to day. It could be any day, it could still be a couple weeks. There are things taking place within the system and setting up the logistics, and also still working on some of the people that basically would like to try to stop this system from happening. But here's what I know, and again what I said, there are some who have already been cashed out, and it's real, and the money is in their banks, and they are in the process of getting ready to release the funds they have received for the philanthropic work that they are working on. So, what's up next? Well, tomorrow night on the radio program, I'm having another guest, and his name is Exogen. You see him posted quite often on Dinar Recaps, and he is also the lead writer and also the executive of S4 Alpha website, blog site. It is becoming one of the biggest blog sites out there on the dinar issue. My understanding, in the last week, they have just surpassed 12,000 people who are signed up to their site. And that's a little different because you can't just click on it and read it. You have to actually sign up to be able to have access to their site. 12,000, and it's happened just in a little over a couple months since they broke off from another group. That's a pretty good sign that there's really good information. Exogen, he's my guest tomorrow night on the radio program. I'll start off with a brief recap, talking about the workshop, talking about what's happening, and then we'll open it up. So call in if you want to talk to this guy, if you want to ask some questions, or if you want to learn a little more about him, okay? Tomorrow night's radio program, as always, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks a lot, folks. And thank you also for allowing me to have a couple days off to have some wonderful time with my two wonderful children. I think any mom and dad would understand that, okay? Love you all. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, folks, quick addendum. I said the third weekend in April for Philadelphia. That's not going to work. I made a mistake when I looked at the calendar. That's Easter weekend. Ain't gonna fly. I understand that one, okay? So we're looking at the weekend after. I'm shooting for Saturday, April 26th in Philadelphia. It's tentative. I need to work out some details. I should have that finalized by next week. Thanks for understanding.